The person you love just walked away from someone very important. And you'll be surprised to find out who it was. My beloved child, before you make any assumption, listen carefully. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Last night, the person you love stood in front of someone they once believed they could never leave. Every word in that conversation carried the weight of years, yet something changed in a single moment. Their heart became strangely calm, as if an invisible voice reminded them that staying any longer would only keep them away from the place they truly belonged. What happened next shocked everyone who witnessed it, because the choice they made was completely unexpected. There was silence, then one final look. No anger. No argument. No tears. Just a quiet decision that nobody saw coming. The person standing across from them thought they would never walk away, but they did. They turned around without looking back even once. Don't skip, because the identity of the person they left behind is not what anyone imagined. The truth is connected to you in a way that will completely change the meaning of this story. Every step they took away from that moment brought them closer to a future they had been afraid to accept. Now listen even more carefully. The person they walked away from was not simply someone important. It was the last thing that had been holding their heart in the past. They finally realized they could no longer let fear decide their future. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, you will discover who that mysterious person really was, why their decision stunned everyone around them, and the unbelievable reason your name silently entered their thoughts immediately after they walked away. But the mystery only became deeper after they walked away. The people around them expected regret, yet they saw something completely different. For the first time in a long while, there was peace on their face. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Everyone kept asking the same question. Who could possibly make someone leave a bond that seemed impossible to break? No one knew that the answer had been growing quietly inside their heart for much longer than anyone realized. As the night grew darker, they replayed every memory in their mind. They remembered every missed chance, every silent feeling, and every moment when fear stopped them from following what truly mattered. Then one powerful realization changed everything. Some people are placed in your life to teach you lessons, but only one person makes your heart believe in tomorrow. That realization pushed them to close one chapter forever. The person they left behind was never their future, only their past. Don't skip, because the next truth is even more unbelievable than this one. Before sunrise, they made another decision that nobody knows about yet. It was a decision connected to someone whose presence has been quietly changing their heart without even trying. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, you'll discover the hidden promise they made to themselves after walking away, and why that promise could completely change everything from this moment forward. A new morning arrived, but their heart was no longer carrying the same weight. They looked at the empty space behind them and whispered something no one else could hear. It wasn't a goodbye filled with sadness, it was a goodbye filled with freedom. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. At that very moment, they understood that the hardest decision is often the one that opens the most unexpected door. And that door was about to reveal a truth they had hidden even from themselves. Hours later, someone asked them a simple question: if you had one more chance, would you go back? They paused for several seconds before quietly shaking their head. That answer stunned everyone in the room. They weren't walking away because they had stopped caring. They were walking away because they finally realized that holding on to the wrong chapter could keep them from the story they were truly meant to live. Deep inside, one thought continued to return again and again, a thought connected to someone who brought them peace instead of confusion. Now the silence is becoming impossible to ignore. Every step they take is leading them toward a moment that neither of you expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, the identity of the person they walked away from will finally begin to unfold, and the reason behind their shocking decision will leave you questioning everything you believed from the very beginning. Everything changed when a hidden detail finally came to light. The person they walked away from was someone who had once seemed impossible to leave, yet something inside them kept whispering, "This is no longer where your future begins. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you." They realized that staying loyal to old expectations was costing them the chance to follow what their heart had been trying to say all along. That quiet realization became stronger than every voice telling them to turn back. Then came the moment that nobody witnessed. They opened an old message, looked at it for only a few seconds, and gently closed it forever. There were no dramatic words, no final argument, and no scene that anyone could talk about later. Instead, there was complete silence, the kind of silence that only appears after a life-changing decision has already been made. From that instant forward, they refused to let the past decide what came next. Don't skip, because the biggest revelation has still not been revealed. As the evening approached, one question refused to leave their mind: what if the person I've been searching for has been closer than I ever imagined? Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, you'll discover the unexpected clue that pointed them toward that answer, and why that single clue made everything they believed about their future suddenly change. The clue appeared when they least expected it. It wasn't a loud announcement or a dramatic event. It was one quiet moment that made every unanswered question suddenly connect. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They finally understood that every delay, every disappointment, and every closed door had been leading them toward one decision they could no longer ignore. Their hearts stopped looking backward and began searching for what truly felt real. Then something even more surprising happened. A familiar name crossed their mind again and again, no matter how hard they tried to think about anything else. They couldn't explain why. It wasn't because someone forced them to remember. It was because the feeling had become impossible to silence. For the first time, they admitted to themselves that walking away from the past had created space for a completely different future. The truth they had been avoiding was now standing right in front of them, waiting to be accepted. Don't skip, because the next revelation changes everything. As night returned, they made one final promise to themselves: they would never again let fear make their choices. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But just before they could move forward, an unexpected message reached them, and what they discovered inside that message made them stop in complete silence. The next part reveals what those words said, and why they changed the direction of everything that happened next. The message was only a few lines long, yet it felt heavier than years of unanswered questions. They read it once, then again, and each time, a different meaning seemed to appear. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. It wasn't asking them to return. It wasn't trying to change their decision. Instead, it quietly confirmed that walking away had revealed a truth that had been hidden all along. For several long moments, they simply stood there, saying nothing. Then they smiled, not because everything had become easy, but because everything had finally become clear. They realized the person they left behind had never been the one they were truly searching for. That chapter had prepared them, but it was never meant to last forever. The future they had feared was now beginning to look brighter than the past they refused to release. Don't skip, because the biggest surprise is closer than ever. As the stars filled the sky, one final realization settled deep within their heart. Someone had been quietly changing their world without even knowing it, and every step away from the past had been leading toward that person from the very beginning. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, you'll discover the unexpected sign that convinced them they were finally moving in the right direction, and why that moment left them completely speechless. The sign appeared so quietly that almost anyone else would have missed it. It wasn't a voice, it wasn't a miracle, and it wasn't something the world would celebrate. Yet to them, it felt like the missing piece they had searched for all this time. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In that single moment, every doubt that had followed them for so long began to fade, and they understood why walking away had been the beginning, not the end. As they continued forward, memories tried one last time to pull them back. Familiar faces, familiar words, and familiar emotions all whispered, "Turn around." But this time, they didn't. They kept moving with a quiet confidence they had never felt before. Deep inside, they knew they were no longer chasing what was comfortable, they were following what was true. That realization changed the way they looked at every decision they had ever made. Don't skip, because the secret they are about to uncover is connected to someone they never stopped thinking about. Then, just before the day came to an end, they heard something that made their heart race. It wasn't a name, it wasn't a promise, but it was enough to make them freeze for a moment. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the next part, you'll discover the unexpected truth hidden behind those words, and why, after hearing them, they knew their journey was about to take a completely different direction. Those unexpected words stayed in their mind long after the moment had passed. They weren't loud, yet they echoed with unusual clarity. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. It suddenly became clear that every step away from the past had uncovered a truth they had never been brave enough to face. The person they walked away from had been holding on to a version of them that no longer existed. And that realization gave them the courage to keep moving without looking back. As the evening grew quieter, they made one final choice that nobody else knew about. They stopped waiting for signs from the past and started believing in the future that had been quietly calling them all along. Every memory that once felt heavy now became a reminder of how far they had come. Then, without warning, one unexpected detail connected everything. It explained why certain paths had closed, why certain conversations had ended, and why one person continued to appear in their thoughts no matter how hard they tried to focus elsewhere. Don't skip, because the truth is closer than ever. Just before the night ended, they whispered something that changed everything. I'm finally ready to stop running. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But the greatest revelation hasn't been spoken yet. In the next part, you'll discover the hidden reason they could never completely forget that one special person, and why the answer will surprise you more than anything you've heard so far. The answer had been hidden in plain sight from the very beginning. Every time they tried to move on without thinking about that special person, life seemed to quietly bring the thought back again. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. It wasn't coincidence. It wasn't habit. It was the realization that some connections only become clear after the wrong chapter has finally been closed. That is why walking away from someone important never felt like losing everything, it felt like making room for what truly mattered. Then they uncovered one final memory they had almost forgotten. It wasn't the biggest conversation or the happiest day. It was one small moment when they felt completely understood without saying much at all. Suddenly, everything made sense. They realized they had spent so much time protecting the past that they had nearly missed the future waiting quietly in front of them. From that moment on, they stopped asking, "What did I lose?" and started asking, "What have I finally found?" Don't skip, because the next revelation changes the entire story. As dawn began to break, they looked ahead with a confidence they had never felt before. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The biggest secret is no longer about the person they walked away from, it's about the unexpected reason that one special person has remained impossible to forget. In the next part, the final pieces will begin falling into place, and you'll understand why this journey was leading to that moment all along. The final pieces were no longer scattered. One by one, they began to fit together in a way that no one had expected. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. They finally understood that walking away from someone important was never the real story. The real story was finding the courage to stop living for old expectations and start listening to the quiet truth that had been growing inside their heart all along. Then came the moment that changed everything. Someone asked them, "Do you miss the person you left behind?" They smiled gently before answering, "I don't miss the past. I miss the future I almost ignored." Those words left everyone speechless. In that instant, they realized the person they had been thinking about wasn't someone they needed to chase, it was someone who had quietly become the reason they believed tomorrow could be different. Don't skip, because the biggest revelation has still not been spoken aloud. As the sun disappeared beyond the horizon, they made one silent promise that nobody else heard. They would never allow fear to choose for them again. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. But the next part reveals the one unexpected event that happened only moments after that promise, and why it convinced them that everything had been leading to this unforgettable turning point. Only a few moments after making that silent promise, something happened that no one could have predicted. A single conversation changed the atmosphere completely. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. There were no dramatic speeches, no impossible events, just one unexpected sentence that made them stop and think, maybe everything that happened was preparing me for this exact moment. The fear that had followed them for so long suddenly felt smaller than the hope growing inside them. As they looked back one final time, they realized the person they had walked away from had never truly been the center of the story. That chapter existed to teach them strength, patience, and clarity. The real turning point began the moment they chose peace over confusion. Every step since then had quietly led them toward a future they once believed was out of reach. Don't skip, because the last secret has been waiting from the very beginning to reveal itself. Now the journey is almost complete. The truth you've been waiting for is closer than ever. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. In the final part, you'll discover why walking away from someone so important became the greatest decision of their life, and the unexpected reason this story ends with hope instead of regret. The moment you've been waiting for has finally arrived. My beloved child, don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person they walked away from was important, but not because they were meant to stay forever. They were important because they taught one unforgettable lesson. Never hold on so tightly to yesterday that you miss the opportunity standing quietly in front of you today. The instant they accepted that truth, the weight they had carried for so long completely disappeared. Then came the revelation that changed everything. They didn't walk away because they stopped caring, they walked away because they finally believed their future deserved honesty instead of uncertainty. And the surprising part was this. The closer they moved toward that future, the more one special person continued to fill their thoughts with peace instead of fear. That feeling was unlike anything they had experienced before. It wasn't loud, it wasn't rushed, and it didn't demand attention. It simply remained, no matter how much time passed. Don't skip, because this is the truth that had been hidden behind every moment of this journey. Now the story reaches its quiet ending. They looked ahead with confidence, knowing that some endings are actually the beginning of something greater. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The greatest surprise was never the person they left behind, it was discovering the courage to move toward the future they had once been afraid to choose. And with that single decision, everything changed forever. My beloved child, if you have listened this far, then one final truth remains. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every moment in this story was leading to a single realization: the greatest victory was never over another person, it was over fear. The person you love finally understood that real peace begins the moment you stop chasing what keeps pulling you backward and start walking toward what fills your heart with hope. As they stepped into this new chapter, they carried no anger, no bitterness, and no desire to prove anyone wrong. Instead, they carried clarity. They knew that some people enter your life to shape your journey, while others become the reason you believe in tomorrow. Looking back one last time, they quietly smiled, not because the past had disappeared, but because it no longer controlled their future. Don't skip, because this final message is the one that matters most. Now the story belongs to the future. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. Every ending creates space for a new beginning, and every brave decision opens a door that fear could never unlock. The person you love has already taken that first step. The only question left is this: what incredible chapter will begin next now that nothing from the past is holding them back anymore? The answer is closer than anyone realizes. My beloved child, one final door is opening, and very few people ever reach this moment. Don't skip. Stay till the end. Something huge is waiting for you. The person you love now understands that the greatest turning point was never the goodbye itself. It was the quiet decision to believe that their future could be brighter than their past. That single choice transformed everything. What once felt like an ending now feels like the beginning of a story they were always meant to live. In the silence that followed, they realized something unforgettable. The most important person they walked away from was not simply someone from their life, it was the fear that had been making every decade